All right, check-in meeting, June 14th. We've got a quick agenda over here. We're gonna start by doing a community check-in. We're gonna go around the table and everyone is going to report on how their week went. So please take a second to take out your YCA weekly reports, and because you're gonna be presenting on them. And then we're gonna take a few minutes to talk about week 3 and 4 webinars. We've made a couple of changes. Namely, Raquel and I have decided to pre-record the next webinars. So you won't have to attend. What we're finding is that different people are in different stages of what they need. So we just want to make all of the information accessible to you as quickly as possible. So we've decided to just record the next 2 webinars, have them available to you this week, so you can jump ahead and use the information that you want. That way you have to go to less meetings, and here we go, we move right along. So that's a note on webinars. And then we're going to talk about next week's assignments, and then we're going to do a quick closing. And that's our meeting. So let's begin with our community check-in. Before we begin, a review of last week's assignments. So last week, we had you read pages 9 through 12 of your YCA guide that had everything to do with onboarding merchants and assisting merchants. We also had you watch the how to redeem video in the merchant kit. I hope you were all able to find that video and watch it. It's a quick 2-minute video. And then we had you either attend or watch the onboarding and assisting local merchants webinar. And the assignment for this week was to onboard at least 1 new merchant. I know that a lot of folks did this, and congratulations to everyone who got at least 1 new merchant or more merchants. Congratulations, that's really awesome. Got great feedback about that this week and super exciting. 5, we had you send out activation cards to those new merchants that you had, that you onboarded. And hopefully we can all talk about activation cards, how those things went, you know, whether you need any assistance with activation cards, what you found to be helpful, not helpful, you know, and how that process was for everyone. And finally, as always, your YCA reports are due on Fridays at 6. So here we go. We've got your weekly YCA report. So who would like to start with their YCA report today?
I can.
Awesome, thanks, Brooke. I will give you permission here to share your screen. I will stop my screen. There you go.
I see. Okay. So that's not the right one. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, great. So I was or am working with El Cerrito. And I was talking to Raquel about it a bit last week, and kind of the stage that El Cerrito's at is wanting to market the card to potential buyers and consumers as opposed to onboarding more merchants, because they have a good base of merchants. They have, I think, 11 right now, which is not a lot, but they're having trouble selling the card to new merchants because they don't have any revenue to prove it that it works yet. So we onboarded 1 new merchant, which was great, but not our focus. So at least we got the 1, which was exciting. No newer potential sponsors or corporate card buyers. I don't think the organizer has thought about that yet as a possibility, so I need to kind of reach out and talk to her about that. And then again, the card hasn't really gone live yet. It has, but there's just incredibly low, if any, awareness about it. So no gifts. Cards have been sold and none has been redeemed. So like I said, challenges, finding new merchants to onboard. A lot of them don't want to join the program because they don't know that it's going to work. They don't want to spend the time, even though it's not that long, setting it up. So successes is I created 2 different marketing visuals, one for Instagram, one for Facebook, for El Cerrito to use to market it to consumers. That will come in handy, and that will be posted to local El Cerrito groups on Facebook, as well as there's one on Instagram called The Little Hill, because apparently that's what El Cerrito means in English, which is cool. And for next week, or I guess this week now, is to keep working with El Cerrito to create more marketing materials. And then another big thing that the organizer wants to do is run a booth at the farmers market for the Chamber of Commerce, because that's who she works with. That says, explains what Yiftee is, explains what the gift card is, and then gives out like buttons that people can wear, pins. And then along with that, if people can prove they've used the gift card twice, they'll get a little bag. And she wants me there to help explain it, because I think I have a bit of a more thorough grounding and understanding of the gift cards and Yiftee as an organization than she does. And yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, Brooke. This is really great. I know that it doesn't seem like 11 merchants is a lot, but actually when community cards first sign up, we tell them that kind of the sweet spot is 15. So
Okay.
you are approaching that number. 11 is still a great number. It's better than 0, right?
Yeah.
And you definitely, completed the assignment today, got at least, or this week, got at least 1 new merchant. So that's awesome. That's huge. Especially when you've been having all these challenges, right? When you say that merchants perhaps don't really think that it might work, don't want to take the time. These are very real challenges, right? How do we just explain to merchants that this is really easy and it's totally worth it for them to just swipe an activation card and see if people come and redeem in their stores,
Yeah, definitely.
So this is great. This is super awesome. I know that we talked about you doing the visuals and doing, focusing more on marketing. It sounds like that's exactly what you've been doing. And it sounds like the opportunity at the farmers market is going to be a really great one.
Yeah.
And that also is a great example of how you as a YCA and all of you YCAs on this call and not on this call are great assets to your community. Having the ability to have that knowledge, like you were saying, Brooke, that in-depth knowledge of Yiftee, of how it all works, of how the community card runs, and be able to support your organizers, whether it be in person at a farmer's market or whether it be door to door, is really, really crucial. So I think I'm really excited about the farmer's market. I think it's gonna go great, and hopefully you
Yeah.
enjoy it too.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
All right, awesome, awesome. So great, thank you, Brooke. All right, okay, who's next? Who wants to go next? Not everybody at once.
I can go next, although mine isn't super interesting.
All right, thanks, Ian.
Yeah. So I was sick like all of last week, so my progress is 0 effectively. So really, really solid work going on there.
Sometimes we get sick.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Another part of life.
I'm super worried about the establishing new merchants at the moment. My community has like 25. So it's not like a vital matter of business to make sure that we get as many onboarded like as soon as possible. Similar to Brooke, it's kind of a marketing issue. So there are a ton of merchants. I think for my community, there is huge potential, but just no one's buying them. So the task right now is to figure out why no one's buying them and to get people to get on that. I've had a few ideas for things I can try to do, which could be interesting, or I think could be fruitful long term. The Sixers have a community outreach program where they will sponsor local business and they will establish like local business or local business oriented groups up into like a position of spotlight and give them press and give them like a little bit of a stadium. And I know people who have done that like for their own businesses. So it's really not like a crazy hard thing to do. And the price to them would be 0. And because I would be the one organizing it, there's kind of no reason for them to say no. So I'm going out there next week and I'm going to try and pitch that to them. And that's kind of where I'm at for the week.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And an excellent segue to these week's themes, actually, because we're going to be talking about sponsorships and large corporations. So that is an excellent way to actually, what's the word I'm looking for? To sort of have this go more fast paced, right? To kind of fast track card growth, if you will.
I want to add, Ian, I think your community specifically is one that's going to be really benefiting from like bulk purchases, since it's a cool market, like you said. Like, it's so dope and it's such a cool gift. Like, I can totally see employers giving that to their employees. So I think it's like a really good one to try. Maybe not like BOGOs, but to try to get some bulk purchases for. I think yours is like especially attractive because it's like a staple of the city, you know?
Yeah. I've been looking at a couple law firms, which I think would be good targets.
Yeah.
Like very like established Philadelphia law firms. So it's like a Philadelphia firm and then a Philadelphia like place. So I think that would work really well. But yes, I was thinking the same thing. Like just the pre-background organization of the community itself really puts itself in a position to be good for that kind of purchase.
Yeah, totally. It's an attractive gift card.
Absolutely.
So I think that's what you should focus on for sure too. Besides, the Sixers idea is super, super cool, and definitely do that. And besides that, like, since you're not onboarding merchants, I don't think maybe BOGOs would be kind of weird because you can't, maybe they'd work, but I think like bulk purchases for yours is great.
Yeah, I wouldn't put my time towards BOGOs right now. Just for them,
Yeah.
Yeah. And just for context for everyone, BOGOs are buy one, get ones, right? We're talking about promotions, buy a card, get a bonus gift. And different communities do that at different levels. Some do matching, buy one for 100, get one for 100. Other communities do buy 100, get 25, buy 100, get 40, you know, different levels. And I wanted to also, for context, right, Ian specifically has a really unique card because his card is located in Philadelphia at the Italian market in Philadelphia. And it's like we were saying, it's a staple of the city. It's a really excellent cultural space. And so there's a lot of potential to have corporations, for example, give employees a card to the Italian market. That'd be awesome, you know, and it has 25 merchants on it already. So awesome. Great work, Ian. Thank you. Really appreciate it. All right. Who's next? I think we have, well, sorry, Robert, I'll call on you next because Gavin actually is in a different situation with his community card. So he doesn't have a report for us this week. But so I think we're just missing you. Not to put you on the spot.
Well, I mean, you kind of figure out it was coming based on how many people are in here. Yeah, let me pull mine up. I can't share my screen because I'm on my personal laptop and my report's my intern laptop. But anyway, so this week got 5 new merchants, which is really exciting. That brought our total number up to 75, which is super cool. And I think as the week goes on, we'll hear back from more merchants because I dropped off a lot of information at merchants last Thursday. And so I think we'll start kind of reaping the benefits of that as, you know, my little flyer and business card get passed up the ladder. So nothing with sponsors or corporate card buyers right now. Really, we're just focusing on getting merchants signed up. They're still pretty big. There's still some kind of big gaps in our kind of like our coverage as far as like where we have merchants. Like the South Side district of Chattanooga is pretty good. Like downtown, just like center city's really good. But like on the other side of the river, North Shore, like I don't think there's anyone really over there. And like there's little pockets that are missing. Like, I don't know. I was I was talking about this the other day with somebody. Like, unfortunately, like someone is just gonna have to go out to all the bars that open after work, and someone's gonna have to go talk to them. So, in the name of work, I guess I'll have to take one for the team and do that.
What do you do? Such a hard job.
I know, yeah. But anyway, so and then this week we sold $7,815 worth of gifts, which is super exciting, and that put our 30-day total over 30,000, which is really exciting. Redemptions were almost $1,600. So yeah, things are going well with that. As far as challenges, like it's been kind of difficult to get some businesses to activate their cards after, like, because like I checked in on a few businesses and they're like, oh, like our manager's been super busy and she just hasn't had time to run it, that kind of thing. But like I had someone sign up, dropped off their welcome packet, and activated within like 30 minutes the other day. So like it's just kind of tough to get some are easier than others, if it's just like one person working there, and it's really easy. But if it's like a restaurant and it's got to go all the way up, then that could take some time. But so that was a little tough. But obviously big success was getting new businesses and getting information out to other businesses. So yeah, for this week, I'm going to focus on kind of expanding that footprint of businesses that we already have on the card, and just kind of publicizing it more. Because like I went to like a young professionals networking thing on Thursday, and I was like talking to some people, and they're like, oh, like what do you do, and so I kind of just ended up pitching it to random people. But one thing that I hadn't thought of is like one guy was like, yeah, I was going to buy someone a gift card to this coffee shop as like a thank you for doing something for me, but I think I'll just get him an express card because then he can just use it wherever he wants, including, the coffee shop. So that was kind of cool. And I hadn't really thought about using it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, all
There
in
you
all,
go.
things are
That's
going well.
Awesome. Awesome, Rob. This is a great report. Really, really appreciate it. So much in what you said. So first, I want to ask you, because I know we were talking about this last week about going across the water. It sounds like this week what you'll be doing is going to the bar. Bars, plural. So have you had a chance to go across the river yet, or this is this week's project?
That's going to be one of this week's projects. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then, but still you got 5 new merchants, and it looks like the card is tracking well because you're getting gifts, right?
Yeah. And I have it set so that like somehow it's set up so I get the emails about all the gifts. And so like every time someone buys a gift, views it, or like opens it, it sends me an email. So like every day I check my email and there's all these emails from people like buying gifts, sending gifts, and all that, which is nice to see.
Yeah, that's such a great feeling. Your inbox is full of of everyone buying gifts. That's great. Okay, and real world challenges that you're outlining, right? For example, different merchants with different resources and capabilities. Some can activate really fast, some need to go up the ladder, which is something to always think about, right? Each merchant is unique. Each merchant has, each business has a different size, they have a different culture, they have different sort of red tape or steps that you have to take. So that's always, something to keep in mind. And that's something to keep in mind when you're working with merchants in general, right? So that's really great stuff to bring up. Do you mind walking us through, Rob, if you know, what kind of marketing tactics you've been using or how you've been marketing the card so far? Because it seems to really be working. And then, we have some other folks on the call that maybe could benefit from knowing how you've been running your campaign, if that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is like just been just like cold calling. Like, I kind of like I think we made like someone before I started made a list of like businesses that had expressed interest when we were kind of like shopping the idea around. And so I've just like gone through on that list and like just like got in touch with all those businesses in person, just dropping off a little one sheeter about the card and then leaving a business card. And like, I don't know, that's been and selling it as much or as little as it needs, I don't really, the hostess doesn't really have that much influence on the manager. So it's not really worth like giving her a full explanation of it, but
Right.
like that kind of thing. And then just like if I seeing like local businesses that look interesting, even if they're not on like that sheet necessarily, just stopping by and giving them information. So yeah, I guess like having a one sheeter has been super helpful that we made, and that having that to refer to and to just like kind of just put somewhere. That's been a lot of what I've been doing.
Awesome.
I haven't really done that much with social media, other than like kind of starting to lay the groundwork for like highlighting businesses that are on the card or like new to the card. I've been working on making some like templates for that, so like every time we get a new business on the card, like we can just like throw something up on Instagram and everyone can see it. So yeah,
Okay.
a lot of it's just, I guess, basically canvassing, I guess, and walking
So
around.
it's really interesting because it sounds like the card is kind of selling itself at this point. Even with it when you're still in the stage of getting merchants, right? So just to recap, it sounds like your merchant onboarding process has been first make a list of all potential merchants, right? Cold call those potential merchants. And then once you cold call them, go in person and drop off some materials, right? In this case, it's a one sheeter and a business card. Am I right? All right.
I don't know like necessarily how much contact we've had with some of the ones that I've been going to. Like I don't know the steps that we took to get the magic list I've been using, but yeah, definitely just kind of like organizing everything and yeah, just going by and dropping off information. And yeah, that's been good. And it's been really like one thing that's been nice is people have been like, oh, I've heard about this,
Nice.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So in terms of marketing the cards to customers, so those are the steps for onboarding merchants, right? And as a recap to last week, chambers, main streets, and downtown associations sometimes have business directories, which is a list of businesses that are part of the chamber or the Main Street Association or the Downtown Association. And that is usually the first line of the first place to look for potential merchants, right? And so in terms of marketing the card to customers, do you know what you've been doing? It sounds like you haven't been doing a lot of social media. So what other outlets have you been using, if any, or is it just word of mouth?
For customers, I think we've got some BOGO deals going on, and we've been putting some stuff up on social media from when we launched, but it hasn't been a whole lot of. And we've also been doing. I completely forgot we did a couple TV interviews, a couple TV ads, and some radio ads, and so I think that's some invisible marketing that I haven't had my hand in that has probably been driving a lot of business to the card.
Yeah, but that's huge. That's also, yeah, another place to get eyes and ears on the card, right? So radio ads, again, depending on your community's resources, radio ads, TV ads, billboards, or just signs. Look, signs downtown. Some people are doing that, and a BOGO. Last thing I'll ask you, Rob, is tell me your BOGO. What's the promotion you guys are running?
I think it is. It's not a equal one. I know it's like buy one get. Let's see. It is, yeah. If you buy 100, you get 50. 75, you get 25. 50, you get 10. And I don't know how and that's normally set up to where it's the card buyer gets the money, right?
Yeah. The card buyer.
Okay, that's the normal setup.
Yep. The card purchaser gets the bonus amount.
Mm-hmm.
They can
Yeah,
give that to their giftee, you know, they can forward their gift link if they want to, but the purchaser gets the bonus.
Okay.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
Rob, what's your community? Because that sounds like a huge community.
It's
75.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
What does it say that again?
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Got it. Have not heard of it.
Yeah.
It's really big.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, maybe it's the third biggest city in Tennessee. I'm not sure. I mean, I also like, I'm coming in like kind of right at launch for something that's been kind of happening in the background a little bit. So there's a lot of groundwork that I didn't like necessarily lay down, that I've been very fortunate to be taking advantage of. So that's definitely something to consider, and that I've got a whole nonprofit kind of behind me, working on this. But
absolutely, yeah. It's a huge testament to the team at Chattanooga over there. Yeah, again, congrats to you guys. But you're a huge support also, Rob, right? I mean, look at that. You just went to one networking meeting and already you got someone to buy this gift card as opposed to any other card. So just that.
Yeah, I mean, I on Thursday I walked like 3 miles worth of like handing off cards. So I'm definitely putting in some work as well.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all your supports. Does anyone have any questions, anything that they want to discuss, any ideas that they want to, bounce back? Like, anything that would be helpful? Hopefully, Ian and Brooke are also thinking of some ideas, some marketing things, and again, if anyone has any questions, just let me know. So I will reshare my screen here so we can move right along. All right, we've got, let me just double check. Back here, we've got our weekly reports. We just did that. And so now we're going to talk about week 3 and 4 webinars. Okay, so as you all know, we usually have a check-in meeting on Mondays and a webinar on Tuesdays. But seeing as, how things are progressing and what everyone's needs are, Raquel and I decided that we are just going to pre-record the next couple of webinars. So no need to attend the webinar tomorrow. Again, no need to attend the webinar tomorrow, and no need to attend the webinar next week. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to record these tomorrow and we're going to send them out. You can watch them on your own time, and hopefully they will continue to give you this training and these ideas that you need on these other areas of growth for your card. And then we will continue our check-ins. So today is our week 3 check-in. Next week is sadly, our final check-in for our 4 weeks together. And we will continue with that and see how everything is going. All right, so tomorrow we will be recording both recruiting sponsorships and corporate card buyers and social media and marketing your community card. And I'm gonna ask Raquel to do a really quick overview. We're going to go in depth on this tomorrow, but just a really quick overview of what we're going to be teaching in these 2 webinars. So,
hey everyone.
Hey.
Do you want me to go ahead, Raquel? Or
go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to just give an overview so that you can watch it tomorrow and not just hear the same thing. Or watch it whenever, because now it's going to be on your time to watch it. But yeah, the BOGOs, we're basically going to be doing one tomorrow on BOGOs and promotions. So Raquel just explained BOGOs are buy one, get one programs. Matching gift card programs is another type of promotion. And we're also going to be talking about bulk purchases. And right now I want to plant the idea in your head of who is a target for bulk purchases for your community. And that is any business or any corporation that has 50 plus employees. So definitely think outside the box. But some that we see a lot are universities, schools, big corporations, law firms, real estate companies, hospitals, and government offices. So those are a great place to start. But if you can think outside the box, you can maybe, I don't know, get your local newspaper or whatever, news station, just anything with 50 plus employees is a great target for your bulk purchases. We're also going to go over how to reach them and the pitch deck and all of that. We'll go over that in the webinar tomorrow. And I'm going to show you the featured merchant section. We're going to show you the featured merchant section with something that you can develop and add to your page if you'd like. It's actually a really cool feature. And then in the webinar after that, we're going to be talking about social media and marketing. We're going to be talking about what kind of posts work and programming and that kind of stuff. And then navigating the Zendesk page, which has a lot of already pre-loaded, pre-created social media posts that you can use, as well as window things. And we're going to be talking about the press release. Raquel, do you want me to go more in depth than that? Anything you want me to add?
No, I think that's about it, unless anyone has any questions at this point.
I just really want to stress, start thinking about those employers, making a list of those employers with 50 plus employees. That's the best place to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, that's a great segue for assignments for this week. Thank you, Raquel.
Okay.
All right. So for this week, we have first assignment, read page 13 of your YCA guide. Page 13 talks about sponsors and corporate card buyers, and it also has a pitch deck, right? So Yiftee has already prepared a pitch deck for you. The pitch deck is just a PowerPoint presentation that has a ton of great information on how to become a sponsor, on why you should do bulk orders, and how this is beneficial to both the community and to sponsors. So review that. Go to page 13 of your YCA guide, click on the link that takes you to the pitch deck, review it. You can feel free to edit it if you need to for your community, for your specific needs. And you can use that to set up meetings with potential sponsors and potential corporate card buyers, right? Should you need it. Again, this is a tool for you. It has all the information. Maybe you use it, maybe you don't, but it's there and available for you to use it. So that's 1 and 2. We've got number 3, watch the recruiting sponsorships and corporate card buyers webinar, which we'll be again sending out tomorrow, along with the 3rd one. And just like Raquel said, this week's main assignment will be to draft an email to send to at least 5 employers with 50 or more employees. Okay, now we've already created templates for you, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel when you are thinking about this email or when you're thinking about these pitches. You can find the email template in the welcome package, like it says right here. So again, if you go to your YCA guide, the first few pages, I forget the exact pages right now, but the first few pages talk about your welcome package. There's a link to the welcome package. So go there. You can find the email templates there. And again, like Raquel said, the first thing to do is think about who is a good potential lead for a corporate bulk order. And this is who is an employer in your community that has 50 or more employees. Now, disclaimer, this is a goal, right? You may be in a town, a city, or a community that doesn't have 5 employers that have 50 or more employees, right? So if that's the case, just think about 1 or 2, or think about the ones that are available. So the first thing to do is make a list. Who is a large corporation, or who is, again, we talked about real estate agents, we talked about attorneys, we talked about, who would want to buy in bulk. Real estate agents like to send out cards to their clients whenever they sell or buy a house. Attorneys also like to send out gifts to their clients. We also have, like Rob was saying, we have just individual folks who like to send thank you cards to their co-employees, right? To people who work with them. Maybe you covered for me when I was sick last week, and here I want to treat you to coffee. you know, or maybe you weren't feeling well, you were out sick and I wanted to send you some soup from your favorite place. Things like that. So think about large employers, make a list of these large employers, draft your email and send that email out. Okay, that's the assignment for this week, the big one. And last but not least, as always, your YCA report is due Fridays at 6 p.m. Please continue to send those, as they are really, really helpful for me and for you, hopefully, as well. And that's what we got. So in closing, let's stay on this theme, right? And let's stay with Raquel's question. Who would be a good sponsor or corporation in your community? And what I'm going to do right now is give you just a few seconds to think about that. And we're going to go around the table and say, who do you think would be a good sponsor or a good corporation in your community? Who can you think of right now that you could pitch? And then whoever wants to start can go.
While you're thinking about that, I wanted to add, when you're drafting your emails, and we'll go over it more in the webinar, but I think the main message needs to be like, why would you want to send your employees an Amazon gift card or a Starbucks gift card when you can send it for a local coffee shop? Like the local aspect of it, the local business aspect of it, it just makes it cooler, and it's such a cool selling point that I think that that's what you need to, you know, really focus on for local employers. You know, you could even like look at the map and say, hey, some of these businesses are right around the block from here, and your employees can use them for lunch. Like really focus on what the businesses are and the fact that they're local and that there's tons of options and that you're not gifting them something so generic. It's like a hipper kind of cooler gift. I think that is kind of the main focus, that you're supporting the local businesses, and that should definitely be included in your pitch and in your emails to these corporations or whoever, employers.
Totally agree, Raquel. Thank you. Yeah, and this is it, right? We're shopping local. We are helping our communities recover from the pandemic, which is what everyone wants. It's everything right now. It's what we need. I want my my local businesses to stay afloat. There are way too many that I've seen shut down. And it's been really sad, really frustrating this year. And yeah, I don't want to buy from Amazon anymore. I mean, there's always a few things, but hopefully we can get these dollars into local merchants. So great point, Raquel. Thank you. All right, so who would like to go first? Let's see, anybody have a corporation or a sponsor in mind? I know that Ian, for example, has the Sixers, right? Any other that jump to your mind, Ian?
Yeah, Dilworth Paxson, which is a law firm that is like located right in the center of the city, has a ton of employees and does a bunch of outreach stuff like this because they like to have like social good as part of their brand. So
Awesome.
I think they'd be a good candidate.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So yeah, so this week just focus on drafting an email to them and reaching out. And then, you know, of course, right, we will go into this more, but an email is the assignment that we're giving you this week. You think about what the best way to connect with these employers and with these entities is, right? Again, every community is different. Every merchant is different. So you feel free to brainstorm ideas as to how to do this best. Maybe it's not an email, maybe it's a call, maybe it's a call from within someone, you know, in your organization that's either a CEO or a president or something like that. So think about what would be the best approach. Okay, let's see. What about Brooke? What about you? What do you think?
Well, I know, I don't remember exactly who was talking about it, but someone was saying that like the local government a lot of the time can be one of the first sponsors. So I was thinking about reaching out because I think El Cerrito is pretty small.
Yeah.
And so I think that'd be a good place to start and reach out to the government and see if they're interested in making bulk purchases, because obviously they want to help support the community as well. So
Absolutely. No, that's a great idea. That's a great idea, especially in small towns like El Cerrito. I've been to El Cerrito a lot, actually. My chiropractor was there, and I should give him a call, in fact, because he should be a merchant. Um, but that's an aside. But local governments, that's a really, really great idea. Definitely reach out. And again, think about what the best way to do that would be, right? Would it be an email? Should your organizer make an in-person call or contact to them? Would that carry more weight? So think about all those things, but great idea, Brooke. Thanks. Okay, who's next? Let's see, Rob.
Yeah, I was looking to make the large fiber optics company that's right across the street from our office. They're already a sponsor, so they're out of the question, I guess. But we've got some pretty big branch offices of like AT&T, UBS Bank, like things like that are around downtown. So those two branch offices might be a good one to try to reach out to, because when their employees, take a break to go get lunch, they can do it on the express card maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great idea. Okay, so then in addition to going to the bars this week, Rob, you will try focusing on making a list of potential bulk purchasers. And yeah, and draft an email. And again, like everyone, brainstorm and see what the best way to approach these are. An email would be perhaps is perfect, or some other kind of way to approach them might work as well. So how does that sound? Bars and the list. That's your assignment for this week. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, no? Terrible idea. Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Thought I lost you, Rob. Thank you. Okay. All right, folks. That's all I've got. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen right here. We've got about 10 minutes to spare. So time for questions. Any questions? Any closing thoughts? Anything that you need? No? Okay, final reminders. No need to attend the live webinar tomorrow. There will not be a live webinar this week or next week. Okay, we're going to be sending out the webinars hopefully end of day tomorrow. Depends how long they take to upload and different things. But we will have our last check-in next Monday. Okay. So that's again at 10 a.m. Next Monday is our final check-in. Please send me your YCA reports by Friday at 6 p.m. And as always, if you have any questions or need any support throughout the week, I'm always available at ambassadors@yiftee.com. But great work, everyone. Thanks so much again for being here, for sharing space, for sharing your thoughts, your ideas. This is hugely, hugely helpful to everyone. And I hope that you all have a great week. Go forth. All right. Bye, everybody.